episode of the J Youngblood Experience. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the last few pods. We have been diving in a lot to the local, tattoo artists that I knew in Augusta. Those came out really nice. Carrie, Phillip, and Keith. I really enjoyed those segments. We are going to do some more later on in the year, probably. I don't want to. We're going to actually do a couple within their shops while I'm getting a tattoo. I talked to Phillip today, podcast there within the shop. But today I really do want to talk about something that's been on my mind and I haven't been able to the presidential debate. And I want to do that is because it was something. It was absolutely something. I think it was an embarrassment to the American public. It was an embarrassment to America in itself. It's just an embarrassment to see two old men argue over themselves instead of what the actual problems are in America. And it was just a debacle. One thing I think the biggest takeaway is that Joe Biden's age has definitely gotten to him, for sure, without a doubt. His age has become a problem. And I'm not saying that because there are a lot of people who are of his age, and don't have a lot of issues that he's going through. But if you watch the debates, the VP debates, I want to say in 2012, it's like he's a completely different person. Completely different person. I mean, he is just it's gotten a lot worse. He can't form a complete sentence. He gets confused at times when he's up on stage. He doesn't finish his sentences, and sometimes you don't even know what he says. He kind of just rambles on and then finishes. I think one time he was answering a question and he didn't even answer the question. He ended mid-sentence on the debate. And then you have the other side. I think Donald Trump is very much full of himself. He couldn't stop talking about himself throughout the debate, and what he did and not in that aspect. And then they got on, talking about who was better at golf, and it was just like, is this what we're talking about right now? With everything that's going on in America, with everything that's going on in the world, we're talking about who's better in golf, and it was an embarrassment, man. It really was. I think the biggest thing to see is how Joe Biden would talk in this debate and how he would get through his sentences, and if he would come out looking better than he has in the public arena compared to what we've seen recently with him in, public. And it's really bad. It's really bad for the guy. He's definitely showing his age, for sure. And I think whenever I was watching the debate, I was expecting there to be a lot more from Trump when it comes to attacks on Joe Biden, but he did pull some of those punches, I think. I don't think he completely went at Biden like everybody thought he would. But this was an embarrassment. You have one, babbling man who is a narcissist and can't stop, talking about himself and how great he is. He is definitely a narcissist. And then you have a senile old man who literally said we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. He said that. 1,000 trillionaires in America. And then he's, oh, no, hold up. We have 1,000 billionaires in America. And it's just, I feel for the people who are actually struggling really hard, because you watch this debate and you realize you have two guys who you may not have the most hope for, because their main tactics weren't like what their solutions were for America. More of, oh, I'm going to attack you and say do, and then Trump would come back. Trump wouldn't even answer questions until he finished his point on the previous question. He kept adding to that instead of staying on track and going through the questions each time. He had to be the last. He had to give the last word, and it was two imbeciles on the stage, talking about literally nothing. Definitely answered more questions than Trump, but Trump got more out of the questions, if that makes sense. I don't know, a lot of arguments over Trump. There's a lot of arguments over Biden. But, it's hard because a lot of people have asked me, well, who are you voting for? And at this point, I don't know. I really don't know. Because on one side, Joe Biden, I don't know if he'll last 2 more years, let alone 4 more years. And I'm not talking about dying, just his mind not being there to make the right decisions as someone who is commander in chief. At that age, is he going to be able to give us what we need as a country? That way we get back to the place we were pre-pandemic, where gas prices were 150 to 170. I mean, grocery prices, inflation, and interest. It's rough out there, man. It's really rough. And then you see stuff like this to where you feel like they're not taking it seriously. You feel like they're up there just trying to get views on the program instead of working to try to make the country better, is what my biggest takeaway was from it. And a lot of people say, Trump won, Biden won. I think America lost. I don't think either side won. I think America lost in this one. It was an embarrassment. It really was an embarrassment. There was nothing I looked at from that debate and was like proud of to think about, And I think we all can somewhat agree on that. I don't think there was a winner. I just think all of us in America lost, for sure. And, at one point, Joe Biden could speak really well for himself. He was very articulate with his words. It's gotten worse. I mean, within the last 4 years, it's gotten worse, to the point where my man can't even complete a sentence and put a sentence out there that you can convey and put into, like, it's I don't know, the guy and a loser. I mean, there's just a big difference between Trump and Biden, and I don't think Biden can be president. He probably shouldn't be president. I mean, I don't know. Like, when it comes to economics, when it comes to foreign policy, when it comes to inflation and all that, Trump did an amazing job whenever he was in office. I mean, like I said, inflation was down, interest rates were down, groceries were more affordable, people were buying more things. The economy was more stable. And then, obviously, the biggest argument for Democrats about that is that at the end of Trump's term, he's the one that kind of messed up the economy. But what has Biden done in the last 4 years to help the economy get better? And it's only gotten worse. I don't know how much exactly inflation since has been pretty high. Let me look that up, actually. I don't have anybody look this up for me, so I'm doing all this myself. It's gotten continuously worse since 2020, from what I'm reading. It's pretty rough, man. And everybody knows that. You feel it. You know what's going on. Who's the best candidate? And I don't know. I mean, I would have to, being is because he is able to talk and put sentences together and articulate himself, and Biden simply can't. I feel like Biden is just a puppet now. I feel like he's just reading off of teleprompters and cards at this point. I don't think he's all there, and I think that's a problem. It's like, how can we vote somebody in who isn't even able to speak? You know what I mean? And, like, that bothers me whenever let's say he goes overseas and he's talking with another country, another president, another prime minister, whoever it may be, and he's unable to talk or articulate how a president should. That's an issue. That's an absolute issue. Man, I go back and forth with it because, like I said, I think Trump is a very big narcissist, but he did very well for the economy whenever, all that he did from 2016 to 2020. And I think what really killed him was how he is probably the reason he lost in 2020. A lot of people say, voter fraud and all this, but I think the biggest issue is people didn't trust him after or during the pandemic and how he handled it. So that's why he lost in November. Yeah, because who do you pick? Obviously, I'm in the middle. I'm having now is that if I talk to anybody who's on the left, it's, oh, you're raging conservative. But if I talk to anybody on the right, I'm a raging liberal, and that just doesn't equate to me. Why can't we? We should again on this one, and we should just try again next year and see who comes out. I don't know. I don't know. I just think all this is crazy. I think the fact that we still have a two-party system is weird. It's like you're voting for prom queen and king. It's like a favoritism contest, and who's more popular. It's just weird. It's like very elementary to me. I don't know why that hasn't been changed over time. I don't know why we haven't changed that. I just think, I don't know. There's a lot of things in this country that I think there are issues with, especially, how we vote and all that, and how can't we just do it all electronically? Like, why can't we just do it? Why don't we can't just go through our phone and pick? Same with taxes. Why can't we pick, where our taxes goes instead of, everybody picking it for us? I just think that's weird as well. But I don't know. I don't know. Since increase since 2020 in inflation. And everybody's feeling it. I mean, your rent's high right now. Your groceries are high. I'm a single, I'm single. I live at home by myself, and all I have is a dog, and all that's still pretty expensive to pay, man. As well as car loans, interest rates is high. So I guess my thing would be, are we voting for well-being of the country, well-being of the economy? Are we voting for someone who's going to make us feel comfortable in our heads mentally? I guess is where you're going to take that. And you can take that however you want. But it seems like, are we voting for someone who's going to help our economy and boost our economy, keep inflation down, keep interest rates down, groceries down? Or are we going to get with somebody or vote for somebody who is going to make us feel right mentally, and, oh, he's not going to say something outlandish or blah, blah, blah? I don't know. I'm really lost on it. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I really haven't came out with, like, a straight answer. It's all pretty screwed up. I can't say that. Or to politics, which I didn't do in the past. It's starting to become more and more important as, it does affect your everyday being, your everyday well-being. And that's something I didn't care about previously. But now it's important, man. And all the people listening to Smoke Age, it's hard to fathom. People my age 4 or 5 years ago, we didn't worry about anything like this, but now we're in the thick of it. And we have to actually make decisions now. A lot of older folks probably are worried about that, but I'm not. I think my generation has a lot of positives, and I know people who are older. I'm not gonna say old people, but older. I think, am I Gen Z? I think so, right? And then millennial, something like that. But even people older than that, I think y'all think we're not here to be a part of society, and I completely disagree. And I can name many folks my age that are doing so right now within politics, within the community, within sports, media. I mean, there are some good things coming out, and I don't like listening to people who I agree with. And let me explain. I'd rather listen to someone I disagree with so I know more about the other side. And I think that's another problem with politics is people on, let's say, the right side don't want to hear the left because they don't agree with them. Same vice versa. But I want to listen to all the sides so I can understand where you're coming from. So if everybody is in the same room agreeing, no one is going to learn anything from that. All they're going to do is agree and tickle each other's assholes, and that's about. But I want to be in a room, and I talk to my brother Daryl all the time, and we don't agree on everything, but we're able to have conversation and understand where each other is coming from, and I'm in a room full of people who agree with me. I don't like yes men. I want people who are going to give me perspective, going to give me other ideas. But I feel like with politics, it's the complete opposite, because if you disagree with someone, let's say they're on the left or on the right, then they automatically paint you into a corner as being the opposite. So, like, let's say you have something that may go against, liberal, like conservative, and we don't like you anymore, and vice versa. But that's one reason why I'm not big into politics, because that politics doesn't allow you to have free thinking, in my opinion. I think it puts you into a box. And that's what I don't like. I don't want to be put into a box. I want to be able to be a free thinker and think about things I want without being painted into a corner as if I'm something I'm not. And that's just politics. I absolutely hate it, and I think it drives people away from wanting to be involved in it, because so many people are so crazy about their ideologies and so crazy about their ideas that it just turns people off. They don't want to be a part of it, and I completely understand. I wouldn't want to be a part of anything like that either. So that's the big issue with me, is I just don't get it. Like, I can have views that are both liberal and conservative, and that doesn't mean I'm a liberal or a conservative. I'm in the middle. I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't agree 100% with all conservatives, and I don't agree 100% with all liberals, but I believe I'm somewhere in the middle. And unfortunately, if you are in the middle, each side paints side. So it just gives me a weird feeling. It's not something I want to be a part of, because you're painted as something that solely because you have an idea that differs from someone you're talking to. And they shut the conversation off by telling you what you are instead of trying to understand where you're coming from. And that's the biggest issue with me with politics, man. And that debate was terrible, awful. Anybody who thought that was a good of the country, as if we already don't look bad, and I don't really think other countries would take us seriously after looking at that. I really don't. Why would they? Park episode. I feel like every day is something new, something different. COVID. It doesn't even feel like we're in the same world anymore. It feels very different. It doesn't feel like we are in the same place, in the same world, in the same dimension. I think we transpired something very different. Like I said, it feels like a South Park episode every day. Every freaking day. It's just wild to me. I never thought that politics is like a caricature of life, and it is. It's a caricature, bro. All these people are just caricatures. They're not what they are perceived as in the media. Like, we think that politicians are like these good people who genuinely want help or want to help and this and this and that, and it's really not like that at all. They're in it for the money. They are. Most politicians, especially nowadays, are in it for the money. And so I don't believe most politicians help us. They're there to get reelected. So I think they do the bare minimum to get reelected. They stay getting reelected. And I think we need to have term limits on Congress, just like we do everything else. Like, I think the average age in Congress is like 55 to 60. That's insane to be upwards of 90 plus. And how is someone who's 90 going to be able to talk to someone like me at 23 years old? They don't know what the world is like. They've been in politics their entire life. What are they going to be able to know with someone like me? Or someone within the inner city? Someone who hasn't had money, someone whose family is struggling. How are they going to resonate with me? And as simple as they're not. They're not. They've lived through both world wars. They've been through cold. Their perspective on life is so different, and it's not something that they can connect with me. And I'm not I'm not going. This is not like an ageism thing at all. I'm not saying that. There needs to be more representation of lower ages in politics, other than all these old people who are outdated with their ideas, and they don't relate to people my age or people in my generation or people who grew up in inner cities and don't have the money they have. Nobody in Congress is broke, not even close. And I can tell you right now, I could solve all the issues in one day. One day I could solve all the issues if I was president. I would sign a bill stating that unless these issues are fixed by a certain date, no checks, no money, no is being paid to anybody in Congress or anybody in the government until these issues are fixed. And I guarantee you issues would be fixed quite quickly. You start messing with the money and it puts people in their place. So I don't think it's a issue of that it's not able to be done. It's the fact that all they want to do in Congress, all they want to do in the government is argue. So if we can cut that out immediately, touch the money. Take the money. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. But that's not how it works, unfortunately. And I would never want to be president, ever in my life. I would never want to be in politics, ever. It's just too much dirty laundry, man. So many people doing dirty things to different people. It's gross. The political thing. You think the mafia was bad? Like, politics is the mafia. Politics is the issue. Because everybody gets so political and nobody wants to speak their mind, and it's dumb. It's dumb. We need to stretch the system out from the bottom up, man. We need to figure out what the issues are, and we need to target those issues directly instead of tiptoeing around. And you can't fix big issues right away. You have to start with the little ones. Same with your life. You can't fix your big issues. You got to be able to get up in the morning and the first thing you should be able to do is get up, make your bed, brush your teeth, take a shower. That's going to be your first obstacles of the day. So everybody wants to go for the big picture. You have to do the little things right first before you can even think about doing the big things in life. And it's the same damn thing with all these with all these political issues we have. You have to start small. You have to start small. Everybody wants to do something big. Everybody wants to go to Mars. You can't go to Mars until you fix the planet you're at first. You can't. So that's the issue, man. Everybody wants to take care of the big issues first. We have to start from the ground up. We do. And it starts with us as a community, as citizens. We have to take control of what is ours. Everybody wants to think like presidents and all that are now monarchs, and they don't control shit. We control everything. We control it. They don't control shit. We control it. And I don't understand why people don't understand that we control our country. This is our country. One nation united. But instead, we always think that it's the president who's going to help us. No, we have to make sure we're putting officials in that are best representations of us, who have our values in hand, our values in mind. And instead, we settle for entertainment instead. That's why we have someone like Joe Biden and someone like President Trump, who have two polar opposites going, for the primary. Because we enjoy entertainment. We enjoy being entertained over getting issues taken care of. And it's sad. It really is sad. I mean, what do you expect? You got Joe Biden and Donald Trump. What do you expect? It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to watch that entire program. I watched it. It was embarrassing. There was nothing they said that I was like, yeah, I'm voting for that guy. Nothing. It's just sad, bro. What where we care more about being entertained and more about the viewership, more about likes, more about all this BS instead of, hey, we need someone who's going to be a commander-in-chief who knows what he's doing, He's going to be a statesman. He's going to be someone we can look up to. Our kids can be looked up to. I know for a fact, y'all, in the back of y'all's mind, you know for a fact, we can't look up to either one of these people, neither one of these figures. We can't. What is there to look up to? He has 34 felonies. Had some type of stuff with a porn star. We want our kids looking up to this guy, honestly. And then Joe Biden and his family. Hunter Biden is a heroin addict who's also about to be indicted on a couple felonies. And also has some stuff going on with Ukraine. Him and his dad, Joe Biden, and Ukraine has some very weird dealings going on. It's all corrupt. They're all corrupt. And we allow it. We allow it to happen. This is the best two we have? Are you serious? These are the best two people we have to offer to this country. I just find that hard to believe. I find it very hard to believe. But guess what? CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, they all love it. Why? Because whenever these kind of candidates are in, their viewership goes up. With them, or whether you don't agree with them, you're going to watch. You're going to pay attention. You're going to turn the TV on. You're going to turn YouTube on. You're going to turn TikTok on, Facebook, Instagram, and you're going to watch it. And whether you disagree with it or you agree with it, the disagreeing is going to get more viewership than the agreeing. Because you want something to disagree with. You want to look up something and be able to comment. You want to comment. That's what you want to do. You want to put your type of information out there. That way people can see what you think. I could not get them to look up to any one of these figures we have currently. I can't. And then you have to think, okay, what about the 24 election? Who do we have? You have Ron DeSantis, Gavin Newsom. Is that any better? I mean, I think they would definitely be coming out of the Republican and Democratic Party. Is that any better? I mean, they are younger folks, younger guys. Or do we get something out of left field like Michelle Obama? Either one of these guys. Based on their past, yes, Trump is a businessman. He did well with our economy. But him as a person, he's a shitty person. We can agree on that. He's not a good person. And then Joe Biden's been in the government 40 plus years. I don't know what exactly he's done. I would have to do a little bit more research on that. But for someone who's been in the government for that long, you would expect them to do a little bit better than what he's been doing. You cannot say Joe Biden has done a great job when it comes to this economy. It's just not possible. Inflation's up, rent's up, mortgages up, rates are up. So I don't know, man. It's a double-edged sword. It's catch-22. I mean, I want to be able to like politics and get into it and talk about it and be a part of it, but y'all make it so hard. Y'all make it so hard to want to be in politics. Y'all make it so disgusting. I posted something on Facebook the other day, and I'll tell you exactly what it said. Give me one sec. You have a badgering narcissist or incompetent senile old man. And the thing is I didn't even comment back to any of the comments. But immediately people have given me their takes. I didn't even say anything wrong. I didn't say anything that was untruthful. Donald Trump is a narcissist. Joe Biden is a senile old man. He's getting up there. I said, I'll take the narcissist for 300, Alex. Like the Jeopardy game or whatever. But it's insanity to me, man. I don't know. This is the allegiance y'all give. The allegiance y'all give to losers is crazy. Both Donald Trump and Joe Biden are losers, in my book. in their own ways. Some of the stuff Joe Biden said in the 80s and 90s, if it came to light today, he would be canceled. And how Donald Trump isn't. I mean, I don't like cancel culture, obviously, but Ben, y'all, in your society, this society we live in, I'm surprised both these guys even have a leg to stand on based on the things they said in the past. And so, just to get that, I guess to get the point across, I don't really have a candidate. I don't really know who I'm gonna vote for. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to do more research and look more at their policies and see who I would rather vote for. Or I mean, based on it, it's probably leaning more towards Trump, and that's a big if. I just think he did better with the economy, and I think people's livelihoods were not as traumatized as they are now. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't look up to either one of these men. I don't think either one of these men have any type of integrity. And it's weird that we got to this point. Like I said, I feel like we're in a South Park episode. I feel like both these guys are just cartoon characters. Like, I could see South Park making these characters. I'm saying that, like, if Donald Trump and Joe Biden were non-existent, I feel like South Park or The Simpsons could have made these people. And that's how, characterized they are. It's just a weird time to live. And I'm sure I'm not the only person feeling like this. I can't be. It's not possible. There's no way I'm the only person feeling like this. But I'm at a loss. Especially after watching the debate. It's just like, who do I pick? It's just a very weird time we're living in now. And a lot of people will tell me, well, you have to pick a side. You have to pick a side. You don't have to pick a side. I mean, obviously, if you're going to vote, you're going to vote whoever you think is best for the country. But just because I vote for one or the other doesn't make me aligned with that party, I guess is the best way to put it. The best way to put it is that, yeah, based on who I choose to vote for, I do not, put myself with that party. It's just, I can't. It's a weird time we're living in now, guys. It really is. And I would love y'all's feedback on the debate. Leave them in the comment section, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Me some type of comment. I mean, tell me something. Because I'm at a loss. I really am. It's a very weird time to live. What a time to be alive it is. What a time to be alive it is. But all the negativity I do, it's summer. So I hope y'all are getting y'all's time out in the sun, going to the beach, putting your toes in the sand, living life. I hope you're getting out, man. I hope you're not just staying in the house all day. It's beautiful. I mean, it's hot. I can't say that. But if you have a lake or a river or a beach nearby, go out, man. All this negativity, all this political BS can get under your skin. It's just a weird time to be alive. But it's also a great time to be alive. It's an amazing time to be alive. I know everybody gets so weird about politics. So weird about it. And I don't understand. I really don't. Why are everybody so serious about politics? Like knockdown dragouts about two guys we'll never meet. I'll never meet either one of these fellows. I may never have the money these guys have. They're millionaires. They not like us. Mustard on the beat, ho. D-boat. He's a free throw. Man down, call an ambulance. Tell him breathe, bro. I don't know. It's very weird. I don't really have a synopsis on this whole situation we're in as a country. But I'm sure there are better candidates out there than what we have been given. I'm sure. I'm positive. There's no way that the candidates we have now are the best candidates for the future. I think we as a country need to do better. I think we need to get better people in office. I think we need to be more informed instead of listening to everything we see on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or MSNBC or CNN or Fox. Because they're all paid off. They're all showing you that stuff for a reason. And they really just want your viewership and your interaction. They just want to get you riled up. That's the whole point of all of those platforms, is just get you riled up, get you talking. Get you talking. The more you talk, the more they do better. The more they make money, because they can run ads and they can get you riled up to get in the comment section and have a couple arguments with people in Minnesota you've never met, and get on Facebook and tell all your uncles that you don't like them or aunties you don't like them. That's just, and everybody knows it. It's a weird game. It's a weird game. It's a weird game. We do the same thing every 4 years. We're very submissive to that. I think there's an art form too, and I think the government knows it, because they're able to. Every 4 years, you get into middle of the year and it starts getting up. It starts heating up real good. It starts heating up. I'm not talking about the summertime. I'm talking about how they get us riled up to, get upset and get frustrated with this upcoming election, and get people mad at each other and yelling and out in the streets rioting. And it's peace, love, and happiness on this side, man. That's all I'm here for. I'm not here for a long time. So I try not to worry about all this stuff that goes on in the news. And I try to live my life the best way I know how, man. It's a weird time we live in. Like I said, I know I said it a couple times now, but it's a weird time we live in. And I feel for everybody out there struggling, who don't get the chance to say, oh yeah, it's a hard time, because they're too busy dealing with their time. But yeah, man, it's something. It's absolutely something. That's what I can say. It's something weird. This is ever transfer in the world where two polar opposite people completely own the TV and the news. I think these two candidates respect each other. And I feel like that's what we're missing. There's no respect. Anything goes, and there's no gentleman out there. There's no political figure who won't take shots at the other one. And I don't want to hear you take shots at the other guy. I want to hear what you can do to make the country better. I want you to hear what you can do about the economy, about racial inequality, sexual inequality. I want to know how my dollar is going to be spent when tax season comes around, or when you take taxes out of my check. I want to know what you're going to do with all the problems with the border. What are you going to do with all the problems with jobs? So how can people get more? How are you going to create more jobs? How are you going to make this country better? Not only for me, but my family, my kids, if I ever have any. My nieces, my nephews. How are you going to make this a better country, instead of arguing about who's better at golf? Who's better? No, I want to know what you're going to do better for our country. What are you going to do better? What are you going to do better? I don't think that those questions were answered on that debate. They weren't. It was just a bunch of BS, man. It was, I don't know. It was a show. It was a circus. It was something you pay for just for entertainment. I was waiting for the clown to come out and start juggling on a bicycle. it was embarrassing. It was debacle. It was two imbeciles on the stage with mics. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. Two political candidates and prove our lives overall over the next 4 years. They'd rather argue with each other, talk about themselves, instead of giving us the information we truly need. And y'all eat that shit up. Y'all eat it up. Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram was going crazy. Y'all eat that shit up. Instead of taking a look like a step back and being, well, what questions did they answer? And I don't think we got those answers. And I think a lot of people like me were looking for those answers and never got them. Like I said, I don't try to talk about politics, but that shit was trash. Shit was trash, bro. Absolute trash. And we watch it, we're entertained by it, and then come November, God knows who will be elected. All I know is whoever's elected, I just pray to do the best for us, do the best for our families, do the best for our country, and protect us, keep us safe, and do the right things that align with the morals of the people who live in this country. Or foreign, hopefully they're neutralized. I just hope these next 4 years are better than the past 4 years, is all I can say. That goes without saying. A lot of people out there are struggling with their rent, their mortgage, car payment, insurance, medical insurance, groceries, gas. Terrible, man. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But anyways, man, listen. Besides all that, besides all the negativity, besides all the political BS that's going out there, there's always something to live for. You always have someone out there that loves you. Someone out there who cares about you, thinking about you. You got loved ones, whether they're here, they're past, they love you, and you need to keep doing things for them. Do your best for them. We can't control everything. The things you can control, and let the other things go, man. I do appreciate everybody who's been listening, man. We have some great things coming up. This is one of the greatest things that ever happened to me is this podcast. Just the feedback I get back and the amount of people that's listening. It's awesome, bro. I really do love it. So keep listening, keep subscribing, keep sharing. But yeah, all love and happiness, man. Love, peace, happiness. I hope July brings you nothing but blessings. Nothing but blessings. I hope you get that promotion. I hope you get that pay raise. I hope you get that new car. I hope you get that new house. All positivity, man. You got to stay positive in this world nowadays. You have to really work to stay positive. But stay positive. Stay on it. Work your ass off. Like I said, I hope you get that promotion. I hope you get that pay raise, that car, that new house, that new hair, those new eyebrows. If you want to get a BBL, go get that BBL. Go get them lip injections. Get them cheek injections. Go get your titties done. Get your hair did. Do whatever you want. Stay happy. Stay up. I'm out. This is another episode of Jay Youngblood Experience. Thank y'all for tuning in.